The construction of the port is to boost trade activities on the Volta Lake, which is currently largely restricted to the transport of cement and fuel from the south to the north. This exercise, spearheaded by the Volta Lake Transport Company, also adapts relatively little sophisticated equipment such as containers and cranes to load and transport bulky cargo to and from the Akosombo port. The managing director of LMI Holdings, Kojo Bochu Eduhine, at a stakeholder engagement, was hopeful of the prospect of the project to boost trade and enhance interconnectedness between the north and south via marine transport.
We all know that after the creation of the lake, the other thing that needed to be developed was transportation on the lake, and not just passenger traffic, but cargo as well. Okay. And it helps very much so that we're building the rail line, and at the end of the rail line, you have to have the port to make that rail line commercially viable. Okay, so for the people of this place, you have the job creation, you have the, what shall I say, the skills, the training, okay, and all of those things that come with a port process, with a port. For the country as a whole, there are lots of benefits for the country. We talk about the economic benefit of the country. We built a huge port, but that shouldn't be the end of it. Now what happens at the end after that port? You've got to have that connection into the hinterlands, into the Sahelian regions. Now you have one port in Tema amongst many in West Africa. So what advantage has that port got? One advantage that port will have will be an easier, more effective way of transporting goods from that port to the landlocked regions.
The two ports to be established at Mpakadan and Debre are estimated at a cost of $200 million. When completed, the project will facilitate the transport of goods from the Tema port to Ouagadougou in Burkina Faso. Meanwhile, Mr. Eduhine says the new port to be constructed will not keep the Volta Lake Transport Company out of business, even with the introduction of container vessels for the transport of goods. Though the transport of cement and fuel by the Volta Lake Transport Company is impacted when the volume of water reduces, the LMI Holdings CEO stressed that the partnership is necessary to sustain jobs.
We're working side by side with VRA. We know VLTC belongs to VRA. In fact, there is a tender process going on at the moment in which VRA is inviting investors into the VLTC, and we are part of that particular tender process. Now, this is a twin track. VLTC at the moment carries fuel and your bulk cargo, or your cement and so on. We are focused on containers, which doesn't exist at the moment.